How's it going, guys? So we're doing the second Auxbeam light bar. Try to get the light right here. Lights are a little brown out here. Right here at Kevin's shop, we're putting this light bar on a Polaris Ranger. It's a 2015 Ranger, and I'm just going to flip it around here and show you how we have it mounted. Now, this is the Auxbeam light bar. This is the 12-inch. This has high and low. Okay, so the light's kind of low here. So here's the light bar. We have it mounted behind. Put some more light on it here. We have it mounted behind the bumper bar here. So whenever you go through woods or limbs, it doesn't hit it and knock it out. Now this Auxbeam light's a little bit different. For one, you get all stainless steel hardware with it. We had to modify this just a little bit right in here. Not much, real simple. I come with a couple different brackets, and everything's lock washered and they give you all that with it. And then of course I ran the wire through here, and this LED light might be just too bright for you guys. It comes up here, then we just have basically a big ball of stuff taped together and held down here, and this as the cover goes over it and hides all that. So we didn't have to cut anything. Everything was pretty much plug and play, real simple. And then of course this guy has a bunch of different lights. This has flood and it has spot. Reflecting pretty bad. Let me see here. There we go. You can see a little better now. This has a little plastic insert that pops over it, and I'm guessing that just blurs the light, makes it a little more streetable. And the low beam on this should be suitable for driving. Well, Missouri, we could actually drive it on the road, side roads at least. So let's go ahead and go to the switch. All right, so inside the Ranger, we have the switch, which will just be double-sided tape to the dash here. And this thing already had a previous light bar on it. Had a hole stabbed through right there. Somebody did that. We just cut a notch on the bottom and ran through the bottom. It fits it real nice and real easy. This switch does have another plug up there a little further, so you can't unplug it to feed it through the dash. So everything goes pretty simple. So this is the only one I've ever seen has a two-stage on it. It actually has two different switches in one. So we're gonna go ahead and turn the key on, and we'll go ahead and push the button on the left, which I believe is the, yeah. So this one's low, and this one's high. And you can see it's quite a bit of difference. Then each set has its own lights that come on whenever you do that. So, yeah, pretty neat little setup. I haven't seen a whole lot of them like this before. I didn't really have a place on the Sequoia to put this, so we donated to Roy. He had another 52-inch light bar that we kind of did a little bit of a trade on, and we're going to put that on the Sequoia for the back of it. So when we're working on stuff or loading the trailer, we have lights on the back. Yeah, overall, it's a pretty decent light. You can see here on the card, if it'll focus, they have their Facebook, their Instagram, and I'll go ahead and put a link to their Amazon store. These guys have really good customer service, and like all their products, I've heard nothing but good reports on them. So if you guys are interested in especially this two-stage light, this is the same place that I did a review on the 42-inch light a few days ago. All that stuff's on their Amazon store, and the link will be at the bottom in the description of the video. All right, guys, so we're at the next day. We're working on my cousin's Tundra here. This thing, man, what a freaking pain in the ass. I had to do this on my Sequoia when I first got it. The rear wheel bearing is actually pressed onto the axle. What a freaking mess. I was really wanting to get that E53X5 done today. In fact, we still might work on that a little bit. We got about 2 hours of daylight left. I think we're at a stopping point on this thing. I'll flip you around and show you what the problem is. So here's where we're at. We just jacked one side up. This truck going about 35, 40 miles an hour. Up to that point, it's quiet. And then it started to hum, but it didn't really sound like a wheel bearing normal noise. It was a little more loud, and you could hear it kind of almost like something flapping. We changed the carrier bearing. Well, this is what it is I don't know if you can see that or not. It's totally gone. Man, what sucks about these, you have a couple different rings here. This one has a holder, like a spacer, that holds everything in place. So the spacer's pressed on, the ABS cog is pressed on, and the wheel bearing is pressed on the shaft, and it's in the hub. And you actually see the rusty goo coming out of that bearing. So it's totally fried. We'll probably go ahead and do a set on this. This definitely is not a job I wanted to have right now, but this job is better than taking the third member out. Yeah, was something wrong with that, which these trucks don't usually have that. Usually it's 07 and up. This is 06. But here's the problem. There's always a problem. There's always some kind of terrible pain in the ass to get that bearing out. Well, but what we're going to do here, we're going to buy a kit. We're going to buy a kit that comes with the bearing, all the new grease seals. It's going to come with a new ABS ring and new lock ring. The kit for both sides is cheap. For both bearings, all this stuff is like 56 bucks off eBay. What we did when I did my Sequoia, we flipped it upside down and stood this on the concrete. We took a acetylene torch and heated this up and heated the ABS ring up and just tapped it on the concrete, and they all fell off. I don't have an acetylene torch. That still doesn't get you the bearing pressed out of there. What this takes is a bearing puller that's almost 3 foot long. So it'll go up to about right here, and it's just a piece of pipe, and it has a plate on top. Then it has another plate on the bottom that bolts on these 4 bolts. Okay? So you bolt it on the 4 bolts. That'll allow you to put it in a press with a flange up here. You can just press down the middle of the axle, block up all the under the flange, and it pushes it out, pushes the axle out of the bearing. Once you do that, you have to take a cutoff wheel, and you got to cut the race off there. You hit it with a hammer, loosens up, you slide it off, and you're putting the new bearing in. So the problem is that puller is roughly $419 for a piece of pipe with a flange. So what we're going to have to do here, we're going to go to my friend Daniel's house. He's a pretty good welder. If he's watching this, probably laughing. We're going to have him make a piece of Schedule 80 pipe with a flange on top, a flange on the bottom, and be able to bolt it in. These trucks, my Sequoia takes the same thing, the same puller. My cousin has this truck. He has a green Tundra. My friend Kevin has at least always one Tundra. My friend Permy has a Tundra, the same as this. So I think it's to the point to where, yeah, we might be able to spend 10 hours trying to get that off of there. We can probably do it like I've done before, but this won't be the only wheel bearing job on these. All these trucks get towed with, and you know, they take their fair share of abuse and road miles. So as you get closer to 200,000 miles, chances are you're going to have this problem. So that's what we're going to do. If you guys notice, there's still no intro and still no outros on the video. My laptop I bought from eBay, it's still not here. I bought that almost 9 or 10 days ago. I bought that. It's still in New York where it got shipped at. I'm wanting to start a 4th channel. We can't do anything until that laptop gets here. We have some offers through Amazon Marketplace to do some stuff for them. Can't do that until the laptop gets here. You can only do so much from an iPad or iPhone. When you don't have a laptop, you're just dead in the water. So that's it. Not too bad of a day. It sounds terrible, but it's really not that bad. We'll get this tool made up, get this Tundra the hell out of here, out of my hair. We'll get back on the BMW stuff on the E53 tomorrow. Well, hell, we might just do this tonight. We might just start on this tonight, because this is a lot easier to do than that X5. That X5, that's going to take some very careful time. I don't want to snap that other power steering pump off. So that's the plan. This Tundra for tonight's dead in the water. We'll go and get this guy jacked up, get that wheel off of there, and make sure that control arm we have is correct. So that's what we're going to do right now. See you guys later.